Welcome back, guys, for another exciting edition of the one, the only, the best show in the world, Fig Life. I am Richie, the real deal heel Reardon, and this is my counterpart, my best buddy, Mr. John Wengland, Johnny Podcasting. How you doing tonight, buddy?
Dude, I'm doing great, man. It's great to be here. It's great to get an episode out, man. And hope everybody's doing good and had a great weekend. I know whenever you view this, it'll probably be early in the week for you if you're viewing it the first day. But hopefully, you guys are doing great. Hopefully, your lives are going great. And we're going to bring you another great show today, as we always try to. And we have some good stuff that's in store for everybody today here on Fig Life.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well said. And a lot of things have been happening in wrestling this week too. They've been pretty interesting. You had Tessa Blanchard win, the heavyweight championship over in Impact Wrestling for the male side of things, which is pretty interesting. So,
Mm-hmm.
nothing short of exciting news this week in wrestling. But we're gonna cover the Fig side of things tonight because we're living the Fig life. And what do we got tonight for him, John?
Well, I'll say for me, I'll kick it off tonight, man. So I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back to one of my favorite time frames was, about mid '90s right here, WWE. This was when they were still a little bit hokey, but some of the stuff that I loved. One of my favorite characters of all time, somebody I really want to interview one day and get on the show, and I hope to get on one of my shows one day for podcasting wise, is Lex Luger. I've always been enamored by Lex, and he was like a guy I just loved growing up. And, he played a big heel characters. He played the face for many times. But most of his career early on was spent as a heel, in the WCW and the Horsemen. Really hadn't had a face run, came over to the WWE, started the narcissist gimmick there. And then you had that really cool moment out there on the USS Intrepid. I think it was 95, if I remember correctly, July
Yeah.
4th, 95.
Hmm.
And they had the Yokozuna slam on there, and everybody couldn't slam him. And here comes Lex out there from the helicopter with all the kids like from No Holds Barred circled around. He's
Jack to the gills too.
jacked to the gills, man, ready to roll. And it started this like whirlwind summer tour that they did to lead up to SummerSlam, taking it for him to take on Yokozuna. So this figure that I got for him is an elite collection, and it's based upon his American gimmick. And let me tell you, if you wanted to pick out somebody that had probably the best body in the history of wrestling, no matter if it was chemically enhanced or not, I don't think you could have found somebody that was more jacked than the man himself, the total package Lex Luger. Just gonna say that right there. But this figure was from that collection. It was the first time in the line there. This is Series 30 of the Elite Flashback collection, and this was the American made Lex right here that they had. So this is the American made
Ooh,
edition of
that
him.
is a great figure, man. I love it.
Yeah, it's a beaut here. In this line here for the 31, they did the Road Warriors, they did Brock Lesnar, they did Ryback, and they did Batista. I really enjoyed this line that they did. This was much more of that kind of retro look for some of the figures that they had on there. It was a young Ryback, a young Batista, a young Lesnar, and kind of early days in the early 90s, WWE Legion or WWF Legion of Doom on this one here. So this one was just a beautiful one. I like this one because it's got him holding up the 100-pound dumbbells that he's got on. He's in that whole American, American garb there, that whole American outfit. And it was just one of the many gimmicks that he did. This could also be a score of the week because I picked this up, man, for $10 online.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I picked this up for $10 online a while ago. I was just going through some of my stuff because I have so much crap in the garage for the stuff too that I haven't hung up yet because I'm just getting my whole room kind of situated here. And I got like 2 or 3 boxes of stuff I still got to put up of things. So this isn't all the collection that you see on the wall here. There's way more. I'm just going to organize it accordingly here this summer, or not this summer, the next few weeks, because I got some other things I'm adding to the walls in my studio, which is my office in here. And I found this and I was like, oh yeah, I remember getting this one now. And this is literally this one's mint, man. There wasn't anything wrong with this. It was in perfect condition online. As you guys can see, there's no rips, there's no creases. It's never been opened whatsoever. It was meticulously taken care of. Really, this is flawless condition. And you don't see a lot of these for the Lex line. I don't see a lot of people hype this up. It's not rare by any means or anything like that. It's just a really nice figure, really just another beautiful look that they did on their figure sets here. And I love this era of Lex Luger. It was a lot of fun. He did a lot of fun stuff at this time.
It's a pretty sweet figure. The only issue I had with this one, and I've gone to buy it several times,
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is I like the Narcissist one better for a simple
Yeah,
reason of the head scan.
yeah.
They, if you look on the front of the box there, they have the picture of Lex Luger with short hair. But then
Mm-hmm.
you go over to the head scan that they used for that figure,
Yep. It's
and they
got the
used
long.
longer hair. I
Yep.
didn't understand that. It always turned me off. I like my figures to match what shows on the picture there, but it's a sweet figure nonetheless, man.
Yeah, it is. The Narcissist one's a beautiful one too, there, man, that they got. It's a little bit pricier than the other ones that you're gonna find for it. You're gonna pay a little bit for it when you find it. It's not rare, but it's not one you see all the time that's out there advertised. You can find them, but they're gonna cost you a little chunk of change. They go usually between like 40 and $50 online, you know, maybe sometimes a little bit more that you
Hmm.
can find them at. I've almost bought it a couple times, but it was always just a little bit more than I wanted to spend on it. But I'm telling you, you're absolutely right. The Narcissist figure that he has, and I have a bunch of Lex, of very different variations of the figures that they've done for Lex, and the Narcissist one is my favorite one that I've seen them do for him. I think it's just tremendous. I think it's better than the classic line one and the classic Superstars Lex, which I think is very underwhelming actually for what they did for that. They gave him
Are
kind
you
of
are you talking about the WCW one that they had with him with the World Heavyweight title?
yeah, absolutely. The one where it's just very plain Jane in there, man. It's just very plain. There's not. It's very bland. It's got like very good features to it. I'll pop it out one day for one of the shows. It's not that I dislike it. It's just it's not the best version of his character. I honestly like the flashbacks one more than the classic one. And the flashbacks much more of a simple look, like a basic figure, but
Uh-huh.
it's very realistically done and they're surprisingly they're worth a pretty nice little chunk of money when for some of them that if you can find them for the right price you could and if you were a reseller you could probably turn around and sell it if you held on to it for a little bit and make probably three times your money back because that's very simple line for the flashbacks line where it's just very standardized and basic they can go upwards about 30 35 bucks for some of them too same thing with the Sting figures out there just because they're so realistic looking and realistically done and that's why I think it's a little bit better than the classics version of him from when he had the world title there in WCW from his early days there. Just to me, it looks a little bit better. Yeah, so the classic superstars one, as much as I love the brand and it is a good character, it is a good figure on there for them. It was more the simple version of it for me. Very very plain, and it's a good look, but I don't know. I mean, I like some of the other ones that they've done a lot better, and I really want that narcissist one, like you mentioned earlier. I'll probably pick that up over the next couple months here. As soon as I find a good deal on it, I know I'll definitely snatch it up because I'm a mark for Lex Luger, and I always will be. And he's somebody that always reminds me of my childhood a lot when I see him there. Remember when him racking Hogan, man, and winning the title in '97, and I love that run that they had. Lex was my dude, so
Yeah.
definitely a Lex Luger fan, and that Narcissist one will be owned by me very soon, I'm sure. What do you got in store, man?
Well, I just wanted to finish off with that by saying that's a great figure there. The other one that I particularly like for Luger that I'd like to pick up would be the two pack, the Four Horsemen one there from the Classic Superstar line. I think
Yeah.
that's a great one for him as well. I think that's a lot better than the WCW World Heavyweight Champion Lex that we got in the Classic Superstar line.
Who's he in
But
the two pack with? I forget.
Dean Malenko,
Oh, okay, interesting,
yeah.
interesting pairing.
But absolutely, man. We got a score of the week that I actually picked up.
Ooh, gotta love the
And
scores, man.
absolutely. This one comes from a buddy of mine. His store down there called the Collector's Marketplace. You guys are gonna get to see an episode where I did a toy hunt down there. Casey owns it. He's a great guy. He used to be the number one heel here in Phoenix, Arizona, as far as independent wrestling and stuff like that. And he
Mm-hmm.
did a great job. His body just gave out and he just kind of, gave up on wrestling. So now he owns this marketplace out there. He has a bunch of autograph signings and things of that nature. And, I got to meet this guy and I'll just go ahead and show you. It's a WrestlingFigures.com exclusive. And this is a TNA Impact Wrestling Austin Aries.
Wow, unique.
Yeah, it's pretty unique, man. I like the X Division title. This is one of the only figures that you get this version of that belt with. So it's pretty damn cool. The other good thing about it is, you got the cloth attire there with his goofy pink shirt that he wore. Austin Aries
Forgot
is
about that.
a he's a crazy character, man. He does a lot of weird stuff. He's got a reputation for being a pretty pretty hard guy to work with, but you know, when we met him, he was a stand-up guy. I mean, he didn't take too much time with us, but enough to sign the figures and take pictures and things of that nature. But what can I say about the figure, man? I mean, I love that they use the cloth material there for his vest. The strap is actually leather, and if I'm not mistaken, these belts actually had metal plates on them as well.
Yep,
So I thought that was a nice feature there. WrestlingFigures.com exclusive. It's got the really unique pink feather looking box here that looks pretty neat there. You got a lot of cutouts in different shapes of the stars and stuff. Of course, you got his name right there. Flip it over the back. You got his tattoo shape
that's
here
cool.
cut out so you can see the detail of the figure from behind as well. You got an Impact logo right there. And what can I say about this figure other than it's pretty sweet? It's signed, and I got to meet him, and this is always going to be a memory of mine going down there and meeting this guy. So
You
all
know
in all,
what?
it's a great figure, buddy.
No, it's a beautiful one. You know what's funny about the TNA and the Impact, figures that you see is the boxes. The boxes are very unique and different. I like that on the back there with the tattoo that he has. But when you look at the sides of the boxes, because of the design of it, they never withstand without creasing and making kind of like, you can see the seams in them because of how they design the boxes. It's literally impossible, I think, for them to be almost in the flawless condition, that you would expect them to be, just because of how awkward the box shape on it was. I've had two of the Hardy ones. I still have one of them, and they're all the same way. Almost every Impact line that I have that are in those boxes have some type of damage to them, even if they come almost looking like they're meant to you. The boxes are all kind of destroyed a little bit, and I think that's due to the design of the box. What do you think about that, Richie?
Oh, absolutely. The more creative you get with the box and the thicker it is as far as the cardboard goes, I mean, you're gonna have those issues, unfortunately. They went pretty crazy with these boxes. I mean, I like them personally. I really do. I think they're
Mm-hmm.
nice. They're hard to keep nice, like you said. That's why you know it's probably best to get a figure defender for these, which are also hard to come by, unfortunately. But if you keep it as good as you can and you don't handle it much, they do stay nice. I mean, this one's pretty flawless
Yep.
given the circumstances of these figures, but there is still some issues here, like I pointed out, like there's some
Yep.
creases in it. But
Yep.
all in all, man, this is a fantastic figure, and if you're a fan of Austin Aries, I think this is probably his best figure he has out.
Yeah, I've never seen that one before, so that's a beaut, man. I really like that one. That's a really good one there. Making it where it's autographed makes it even better to me.
Absolutely.
What you got next, man?
So another one that I picked up, I actually got at Target, and this was when I was looking for that Royal Rumble line that we covered last week.
Mm-hmm.
I bought the whole set, got your Macho Man for you, and then of course I look over, and there is this pretty sweet figure sitting there. It is a Network Spotlight, and I'll go ahead and show you now. It is a Network Spotlight, Kevin Nash or Diesel, Big Daddy Cool, whatever you want to call him. He's got a lot of different names there. But one thing I can say about this is the network spotlights are cool in my opinion because they got that nice red and black
Yeah.
look to the boxes. I love that. Pretty simple case. There's not much accessories. You got a few fists that you can switch out here. I love that they didn't put like a vest over here. They actually had it on the figure when they put it in there. It's my favorite part about this is he's actually wearing his vest. This head scan too. Me and you talked about this off
Mm-hmm.
air. I'll go ahead and show you that there. That's probably the most realistic Kevin Nash head scan I've seen for the Diesel era of
Yeah.
figures back there. And of course, you got his tattoos that came out really nice as well. Um, this figure though, you flip it over here. There's a young Kevin Nash. Of course, you got the network spotlight. Target got a lot of these network spotlights for their exclusives. The Royal Rumble series is actually what took that over. And I'll go ahead and read who also was in this series at the time. It was Diesel, Asuka, Jinder Mahal, and Rey Mysterio. That
Hmm.
Rey Mysterio I'll be picking up. The Asuka, actually, I got an interesting story about. Um, the Asuka figure was supposed to come out with the really nice ring coat that she comes out with, or the really abstract looking ring coat that
Mm-hmm.
she wears every time. But unfortunately, due to costs, they took that part out and they
Hmm.
just gave her the mask, unfortunately. Everybody was bummed out about it. We were waiting so long to get an Oscar with that coat, and unfortunately, we're going to be waiting a little bit longer. They did an interview on Major Wrestling Figure podcast. I can't remember the guy's name. His name is Sweaty Bill. That's his nickname.
What a
But
great name,
anyways,
Sweaty Bill.
yeah, he's bald. Uh, but they did an interview saying it was because of the cost that they couldn't include that in there, so that's unfortunate. Hopefully we get one soon. But going back to this one here, we got Kevin Nash from Detroit, Michigan. He weighed 328 pounds. He was 6'10", and of course his finisher is the jackknife powerbomb. Career highlights: WWE champion, Intercontinental champion, and he was World Tag Team champion with Shawn Michaels, of course. Um, Great figure, a must-have in your collection. If you like Kevin Nash, they made one before this. I think that one is the better of the two. So if you have an extra few bucks to get it, go get the older one.
Mm-hmm.
But this one is definitely a good second. So
Yep.
definitely a sweet figure there.
You said you got that one at Target, right?
Got it at Target. It is a Target exclusive. This is
Yeah.
the only place you're going to get it besides probably Amazon.
Yeah, that was the one I was me and you were talking about last week offline, and I said I was at Target and I was almost picked it up, but they wanted 35 bucks in New York here where it was from, and I know you said it was what 20 at yours, right?
It was 20, but this one was marked down $5, so I ended up getting it for 15.
Yeah, I think about that 15 bucks, and then here where I live, it's 35 bucks they were trying to charge for that thing. I was like, I definitely liked it, but I didn't like it for $35 like it. So I was like, I said, I'm gonna take a hard pass on it, even though I want to grab that up. And then when you said to me last week, you said, hey, look what I freaking found over here for 15 bucks. I was like, how the hell did you find that for 15? I'm out there
Yeah.
paying 35 for that damn thing. They're trying to charge for the same one.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I mean, Diesel, he's had some good figures, come out. The Classic Superstars line, I would say, is probably his best, because it has that WrestleMania ticket behind him. The
Mhm.
box just looks cool. I'm a big Classic Superstars box guy. I think those boxes are phenomenal, and they're probably the
Yep.
best ones to ever come out. If they had Mattel figures in those boxes, I think they'd be the best ones of all time. So,
Yep.
but Diesel, he doesn't have too many, but he's got some, and I would definitely say it would go for me personally, the Classic Superstars. Of course, they had the Elite one with the abstract box that I always talk about that has the weird shape on it, and then of course this one here, the Network Spotlight, in that order. So
You know, there's a couple ones that I wish they went back really retro with him and made when he played his character there for Vinny Vegas or
yeah,
Oz too, because Oz was just like this goofy gimmick. They dressed him up almost looking like the genie from Aladdin and stuff. That would be kind of cool to see that. Another figure I'd always want to see is Johnny B. Bad, man. You never see a Johnny B. Bad one.
well, it would be neat to do the Oz or the Vinny Vegas, like you said. Maybe do a Kevin Nash set,
Yeah,
or do those as uh, San Diego Comic Con releases or something like that. Because we got a Isaac Yankem at a San Diego Comic Con, and that's one that you don't see often. So that's usually when they release those types. So maybe down the road we'll get different versions of Nash for that or something.
yeah, that'd be kind of cool to see. It'd just be a fun and different version of him. I don't think a lot of people would actually know those versions of him. So if you don't know what we're talking about, just go look up WCW Oz or WCW Vinny Vegas, and you can see a couple of the gimmicks that Kevin Nash was portraying out there. They're quite comical to say the least, man. And Nash will tell funny stories on things when people ask him about the Oz character itself, and it's pretty funny stuff, man. It really is good. Boy, they knock it out of the park once again over there with the Elite Collection, man. I mean, it's just such a flawless line that they have. Like they're really just a cut above everybody else in regards to so many things, and they just knock it out of the park every time, bro.
Yeah, they're the best figures ever made, hands down. I mean, Mattel is definitely knocking out of the park. It's a shame that they're having money troubles right now. Hopefully, they don't lose the licensing to WWE products because they're doing a great job, and I don't see anyone else out there that could stand up to them right now as far
Yeah,
as quality. So hey man, we'll see what the future holds, but for now, I'm definitely happy they have the licensing. So
absolutely, man. Well, we're happy to have you guys here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, please. And go up and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification so it'll let you know
yeah,
every time.
once we get
Yep.
up to 500, man, we're doing a giveaway. We're trying to give away an autograph figure here, so help us get the subscribers up to 500.
Yep, we'll get there for sure, man. I'm telling you, it's going to come sooner rather than later. And keep the feedback coming. You got stuff you want to share with us? We have some submissions and stuff that's been submitted to me that I'll put on the show over the next week and kind of show some of your cool collections and stuff off. So I will definitely be putting that out there for people that are out there. And Richie, I'm telling you, man, we always keep bringing the heat, man, with some good things, and we hope you guys enjoy it, and hope you enjoy it and like it. We got tons of different good stuff that's just going to keep on coming to you guys here. We're happy to have you with us always. Make sure you subscribe to us. Check out our website, rcpodnetwork.com. It's going to be updated with lots of good stuff on over the next few days. So make sure you check that out. And it's rcpodnetwork.com. Go right over the store section on there if you want to see what we got up for grabs up there and what we will have up for grabs. And then you can also find information for our podcast, Wrestling Anonymous, Wrestling with Reality, Rad Turtles Wrestling, and just all the good stuff that we're doing over there. So check that out. Give Richie a follow over there on Twitter. It's at @III_Reardon, REARDON. Or you can email him, rickybobby112@gmail.com, or hit me up on Twitter if you would like. It's at WWR Podcast, or you can email me, wwrpodcast.com@gmail.com. That's enough of the plugs, Richie. To quote Tony Schiavone once again, as I always do at the end of the show, we are desperately out of time, and we will be back on the next episode of Fig Life here with you guys over the next day or so. Hopefully, you come on back, spread the word, tell a friend, let them know, get that subscriber count up with us, and hop on board with the Fig World Order over here, man. Because when you're with the Fig World Order, Richie, what are they, man?
For life.
Life.